wired to do something phenomenal with our life. For God's highest form of creation, we should start doing it. Hill points out right there, what do you need? You need specialized knowledge. Then he points out here, he said, before you can be sure of your ability to transmute desire into its monetary equivalent, you will require specialized knowledge. Ray pointed this out to me. He said, look at this. He said, the accumulation of great fortunes calls for power. Now, prior to that, what did he say? He said, you need specialized knowledge. However, down further, here he points out, the accumulation of great fortunes calls for power. And power is acquired through highly organized and intelligently directed specialized knowledge, but that knowledge does not necessarily have to be in the possession of the person who accumulates the fortune. Do you know what you need? You need a team. You need a damn good team of people, and you need to trust them. And if they betray you, you kill them. Mentally, they're gone from your mind. You do not let the betrayal stick in your mind, and you don't let them stick in your mind. You mentally kill them. Let it go. Forgive it. That's what forgive means, to let go of completely, abandon any situation. He said there's a three-step approach. It is what it is, accept it. It's either going to control you or you're going to control it. It is what it is, accept it. It's either going to control you or you're going to control it. Number two, harvest the good. Harvest the good. I love the term harvest. You can see yourself out looking for the good and bringing it in. Harvest the good. There's good in everything. And the more you look for, the more you're going to find. And number three, forgive all the rest. Forgive all the rest. Abandon, let it go. You don't have to carry it with you. You don't stop trusting just because you are betrayed. Mentally, let it go. You don't have to know how to do everything. Get your ego out of the road. Subject yourself to the brilliance of other people. Make up your mind what you're going to do, and then get really good at what you're doing. Absolutely tackle it. Get really good at it. This is very important. I want you to listen very carefully. Money is extremely important. Now, you do not sacrifice your integrity or your good name for money. As a matter of fact, if you do, you probably won't do as well. You've got to do it right. You've got to play by the rules. You've got to do it by law. But you've got to know that you are worth an absolute fortune. So you have to ask, what are you selling it for? Now, Hill talks about it, and earning money is an attitude. He said, when money comes in quantities known as the big money, it flows to the one who accumulates it as easily as water flows downhill. Imagine that. Imagine water flowing downhill. No problem. It'll get around anything, go over under it, but it will get downhill. You know, he says there exists a great stream, an unseen stream of power. Now think of this. There exists a great unseen stream of power which may be compared to a river, except one side flows in one direction, carrying all who get into that side of the stream onward and upward to wealth. The other side flows in the other direction, carrying all who are unfortunate enough to get into it and not able to extricate themselves from it downward to misery and poverty. And we see a lot of people that are caught up on that side of the stream. Said every person who has accumulated a great fortune has recognized the existence of this stream of life. It consists of one's thinking process. You've got to ask yourself, how do you think about this? How do you think about that? If you're troubled, how are you thinking about it? If you're entertaining trouble, you're going to create more of the same. The positive emotions of thought form the side of the stream which carries one to fortune. The negative emotions form the side which carries people down to poverty. Now, he said this carries a thought of stupendous importance to the person who is following this with the object of accumulating a fortune. If you are in the side of the stream of power which leads to poverty, this may serve as an oar by which you may propel yourself over to the other side of the stream. It can serve you only through application and use. Merely reading and passing judgment on it, either one way or another, will in no way benefit you. Poverty and riches often change places. Poverty may, and generally does, voluntarily take the place of riches. When riches take the place of poverty, the change is usually brought about through well-conceived and carefully executed plans. Poverty needs no plan. It needs no one to aid it, because it is bold and ruthless. Riches are shy and timid. They have to be attracted. How do you attract them? You got to get in harmony with them. You're dealing with energy. The only energy you can attract is the energy that you're in harmonious vibration with. If you're letting your present results, which may be poverty, control your thinking, you're going to create more of the same. If you're on the side of the stream which leads to poverty, this may serve as an oar. It'll propel you to the other side of the stream. That's what Matrix is about. I want you to really think of yourself. There's something so phenomenal about you that no one can properly even describe it. You could be speaking in superlatives all day long, and you're still going to fall short in describing you, the real you. He says, poverty needs no plan. It needs no one to aid it because it is bold and ruthless. Then he points out, he says, when riches take the place of poverty, the change is usually brought about through well-conceived and carefully executed plans. Do it until you find out I'm lying or I don't know what I'm talking about. I have just learned that there's certain laws that govern this universe. What you're looking at there is not electricity. What you're looking at is an expression of electricity. If you're working with electricity, you have to work from a higher to a lower potential. If you want more light, put in a bigger bulb, get a bigger transformer. Nobody knows what electricity is. The only thing we do know is the laws by which it operates. Well, there's a power flowing to and through you, and it always works from a higher to a lower potential. And the only limit put on the power is the limit that's placed on the form through which it's flowing. This is the form through which it's flowing. It's the thoughts that you think that limit it. It's the thoughts that you think that open it up and let it flow. You want to become a magnificent conduit for that power to flow through, and you can achieve anything you want. Your results are an expression of your level of awareness. Always has been, it always will be. Your awareness is blocked by layers of virus, just bad ideas. Let this little dot in the center of the screen represent your level of awareness. That represents your level of awareness. I want you to think, really think, of how your life would change if your awareness just expanded by that much. Just that much. You eliminate darkness when you turn on the light. A person doesn't earn 100 a year because they want 100 a year. They're earning 100 a year because they're not aware of how to earn 100 a month. The only thing that separates you from the good you desire is awareness. Solomon said, in all you're getting, get understanding. There's only one way to develop understanding, just one way, and that's through study. There isn't any other way. Now, there's many forms of study, but you've got to study. I found if I just keep studying me, I'll understand you. If I keep studying me, I'm going to start getting the results I want to get because I'm the only one that can do it for me. Let there be a higher degree. How do I expand my level of awareness? You expand your level of awareness through effective education, combined with professional coaching over a reasonable period of time. You'll eliminate the virus and expand your level of awareness. And when you do that, it starts to reflect in your results. You got to open yourself up to it. And when you open...
All right, guys, we're going to start in 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. So get your pens and papers ready. We have a great call ahead of us. Really, really looking forward to this call. So go in the group chats and let all your people know that Mornings with Nano is starting in 2 minutes, family. 2 minutes, 2 minutes.
Yourself up to it, you'll get it. You want to learn to willingly give and graciously receive. We've often say it's a sad thing when you see a child afraid of the dark. I'll tell you something a lot sadder is when you see an adult that's afraid of the light. There's people, their mind is so closed that they just can't hear you. Now that's too bad. Everything you're seeking is seeking you. Do you know that all religion, I don't care what religion you are, all religion and all science clearly indicate that nothing is either created or destroyed. Everything that you've ever wanted is already here. Everything is made from the same formless substance. And we have the creative ability to take that and move it into whatever form we want. Do you know something? If you can see it in here, what you've done is you've taken your imagination into the future. You can bring the future into the present. Start to live with it. Act like the person you want to become. Quit worrying about what other people think. As a little kid, we're raised to be concerned with what other people think. What would the neighbors think? I found out they don't, so quit worrying about it. You know? Think.
It always makes me laugh.
That's all you seek. That's all that you'll gain here. There isn't anything else. You want to become a...
Okay, there we go. All right, familia, grand rising. Hope everybody is having a phenomenal day this morning. As you guys can see here in Miami, it is raining, it is cloudy, but now you see this is a nice, I look, the lighting is nice here. So I know that definitely it's when it's nice and sunny outside that it makes it dark. But look, since it's cloudy out, and I love cloudy days, like today is that perfect weather to just, be in bed, chilling, relaxing. But we still show up, we still here. I didn't get a chance to do my morning routine on the beach, but I did it in our work center, which is awesome. So I hope everybody's having a beautiful morning. Can I get some big smiles in the chat? Yes, Olivia knows, Dada knows, big smiles. Yes. I love. What are you eating? Yeah, take that from her. But I'm super excited. I'm super blessed. Let's get right into the call. Because I'm very excited for it. And yeah, I gotta. Hazel's always doing something. You gotta be careful with Hazel. And I give her that face because she knows I'm not playing with her. When I give her that face, like, okay, he's not playing games with me. But let's get right into the call. Let's practice some gratitude. Gratitude. What is one thing that you are grateful for? Type it in the chat box. What is one thing that you are grateful for? I am grateful for God. I am grateful for my family. I am grateful for my health. I am grateful for my mom, my dad, my little brother, my goddaughter Dariana. I'm extremely grateful for another day of life. I'm grateful for this rain. I love the rain. I just love rainy days. It's just something about rainy days that I love. I love I'm also grateful for Hazel. I'm grateful for Katie. I'm grateful for, my quirklings mint that we had yesterday. We minted some NFTs yesterday as a team, which was super dope and super amazing. So I'm super grateful for that. Really, really looking forward to the team to grow and elevate with all of us. So I got a lot of people into their first NFT project yesterday, which was awesome. So I'm thankful for that. I'm grateful for the whole Mornings with Nano community, everybody who plays a part in this community and everything that we got going on here when it comes to growth, when it comes to elevation, and when it comes to just becoming a better version of ourselves, which is the most beautiful part about it. So let's get this call started. I'm going to send out one last message. Mornings with Nano is live now. The topic is going to be summer for intention. Okay. Summer for intention. Let me just spread the word, make sure that everybody knows that the call is live. Hope everybody got their pens and papers ready to take notes. And let's get the call started. We're ready to go. Perfect. I do not know why it looks like that. Maybe the angle. Shit, I guess that. But all right, let's get this call started. All right, so guys, thank you guys so much for hopping on this call here today. I'm super blessed, super grateful to be here with each and every single one of you guys. I hope you guys are having a blessed day. Today I wanted to talk about the temperature out here is like low 80s, I would say, low 80s. 86, 76. So it's nice out here. It's pretty nice. But today I wanted to talk about intention. And I said, this summer I wanted it to be a summer for intention because this summer is going to be a big summer for a lot of us. And I know how important it's going to be for us to grow, for us to elevate this summer. Summer 2022 is going to be the summer where we actually look back and we be like, bro, what a summer that was. Like, we're going to look back, a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, and be like, yo, summer of 2022 was the summer that changed it all for us. Summer of 2022 was a summer that absolutely revolutionized our lives, and it was where it all started. But the only reason and the only way that that's going to happen is through one word, is through how intentional you are this summer. Okay. And intention, is something very important. Okay. Intention is very, very important. Okay. And I wanted to make sure that you guys understood this because the moment I started to apply the power of intention, my whole life changed. Okay. And I didn't really understand intention until I realized that a lot of the actions that I was taking on a day-to-day basis didn't have the intention behind them that I needed in order for me to create the success that I wanted. Now, I want you guys to remember this, and I want you guys to write this down. When you take an action without intention, it doesn't create. All right. When you take an action without intention, it does not create. It's fruitless. Okay. When you take an action with intention, it creates because it's fruitful. Okay. And understanding that one concept right there is so important. And for a long time, I didn't do things with an intention. Now, Nano, what do you mean by doing things with an intention? Like, what does that mean for you? Every action you take has to have a purpose behind it. Every action. especially when you're working towards a specific goal or task. Okay. So, for example, let's say you guys set a goal to hit six figures. All right. Every action you take has to have the intention behind it to create those six figures. You got to understand this. So, for example, I set a goal to make six figures. Every action I took had the intention to help me create those six figures. So I never did anything just to do it. Every action I took had the intention behind it that this specific action was going to help me get closer to my goal, which was to hit six figures. So there was a intention behind it. Okay, I just wasn't prospecting to prospect. I just wasn't reading a book to reading a book. I just wasn't writing my goals down to write my goals down. I just wasn't doing a night routine just to do a night routine. Every single action I took, the intention behind it was to help me accomplish that goal of six figures. Okay, but I understood that I had to do it over a long period of time. So every day had to be intentional. I just couldn't be intentional one day and then the next day I couldn't be intentional. No, it had to be something I did every single day, Monday through Sunday. Okay. So I want to walk you guys through what an intentional day looks like and how, I was, processing the information, because I know a lot of you guys are still working to make your first six figures, right? And I know a lot of you guys want to make your first six figures. All right. So the way I accomplished my first six figures was during a summertime. All right. I did it during the summer. Now, during the summer, that's the best time to create, because this is the time when most people get distracted. This is going to be the time when you get the most locked in. So I need you to understand this on a very deep level. Okay. This is very, 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 very important that you guys understand what I'm about to cover with you guys right now. So you guys can be able to really create the life that you want. All right. So the first thing I want you guys to do, all right, number one, is I want you guys to write down a definite chief aim. Okay. A definite chief aim. All right. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay. A definite chief aim. That's what I want you guys to write down first. A definite chief aim. What do I mean by that? What exactly do you want to create this summer? What do you want to create by the end of the year? What do you want your results to look like by the end of the year? Okay, this is mad important. There has to be a definite chief aim. Okay, my definite chief aim right now as we speak is to hit seven figures. Okay, make $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month. Okay, the goal is to get to $100,000 a month. Okay, but right now my next goal is to hit 50 first, and then from 50 I go to 100. So I'm two steps away. Right, my first step is 50,000 a month, and then boom, the next step will be the 100,000 a month. So right now my chief aim is $100,000 a month. Okay, my next goal, which is my next step, is 50,000. Okay, because you have to break it down in steps also as well. So you need to have a definite chief aim. What is that definite chief aim for you? So for example, for some of you guys, you want to make six figures, but your next, logical step is probably, to make 2,000 a month, 5,000 a month, okay, 8,000 a month, 10,000 a month. Okay, so what's that next logical step for you? My next logical step is get to 50 first. Okay, but my chief aim is $100,000 a month. Okay, and you got to make sure that you're writing it in the correct way. All right, every morning I write my goal down. Okay, I am so happy and grateful now that. You got to do it every day. If you really want to create this, it has to be done every day with an intention, because what the intention does is that it keeps you on the vibration. That's what the intention does. It keeps you on a vibration that you need to be on. All right. And this is super key. Very, very, very important. The purpose of you doing everything with intention is that it keeps you in the vibration that you need in order for you to accomplish that goal. Okay, so the first step is that, right? The second step is you need to have a routine you're going to follow. So step one is identifying the chief aim and the next logical step. All right. Step number two, all right, which is also very, very key, all right, is you need to create a routine for yourself, a schedule that you're going to follow this summer. Okay. And it has to be a schedule that you're going to follow at least 6 days to potentially 7 days a week. Okay. You need to know exactly, okay, how many hours a day you're going to dedicate to your business, how many hours a day you're going to dedicate to your job, to your morning routine, to your night routine. This is a summer of sacrifice, the same way as a summer of intention. Remember, guys, if you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes the sacrifice. Okay, I need you guys to understand that. That is very, very, very important. If you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes a sacrifice. Okay, so if you don't sacrifice this summer, the things that you want will be the things that become sacrificed. You want six figures? Fine, but you got to sacrifice for it. You want to travel the world? You got to sacrifice for it. You want to put your family, your kids in position to live a better life? You're going to have to sacrifice for that. Okay. And if you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes a sacrifice because you won't get it. You won't receive it because it takes a certain level of sacrifice in order for you to get to what you want to get. So you got to have a routine. Now, for me, I break down my days into three different sections. Okay. Now that's me. All right. And I would say about four. All right. You have your morning routine. All right. Which is very important. Okay. You have your trading time for me, right? Like I said, I know you guys are in different businesses. Your trading time could be for some of you guys, maybe the time where, you do something else. All right. But that's my time for me to trade, for me to study, and so on and so forth. Okay. Very key. And then I also break it down into my business time. Okay. The time that I'm going to spend on my business. Okay. And then I also have what we do night routines. Okay. Very important. Okay. So, for example, every morning, you need to have a certain time that you're going to dedicate to your morning routine. I say at least a minimum of 1 hour. Okay, at least a minimum of an hour. So, for example, I woke up at 6:30 this morning, 7 o'clock, but it was raining. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna be able to go downstairs to the beach. So we just kind of hung out here for a little bit, see if it stopped. And then around 8 o'clock, around 7:50, 8 o'clock, I saw it wasn't gonna stop. I said, I still want to get my morning routine in. I'm not gonna be able to go outside, but I'm gonna go downstairs, so I don't stay at home, and I'm going to go to the business center and I'm going to do my morning routine from there. All right. And yes, I didn't do a full 2 hour morning routine, but I still was able to do my morning routine in 45 minutes, right? Because, I did 10-minute meditation, I did 15-minute reading, and then 10-minute journaling, so I still found a way to squeeze it in, right? You see, the problem is that sometimes just because we don't have the time or something, or just because you feel like you don't have the full 2 hours, sometimes we don't do it. But guys, even if you dedicate 45 minutes, okay, to your routine, that's more than enough time. Even if you wake up and you dedicate 30 minutes, 10, 10, 10, 10-minute meditation, 10-minute reading, 10-minute journaling, you still get it done. The importance is to do it consciously, get your mind in the habit of waking up and doing these things each and every single day. I could have easily been like, you know what? It's raining. I'm chilling. Let me just stay in bed and wait till mornings with Nano. I could have easily done that. I could have stayed in bed relaxing. But I said, you know what? I said, no, that's the easy thing to do. That's pleasure. I need to go with my peace. You see that? So I had a choice to choose peace or pleasure. But remember, I had to be conscious about it. I had to consciously choose, do I want to choose pleasure or do I want to choose peace? And I know that I had to choose peace, because peace is me going and doing my morning routine, even though it's not a full morning routine where I dedicate, 30 minutes of reading and more time to meditation. I still got it done. I still consciously went out there and laid the brick, which is the important thing about it. But let's talk about intention. Okay. It's it's important that you guys understand this. Can you turn it down, please? It's important that you guys understand this. All right. The key to intention starts from the moment you wake up. So, this is how you know if you start intentional. If you say you're going to wake up at a certain time and you wake up at that time, you are intentional about your wake up time. If you say you're going to wake up at a certain time and you snooze, you wake up unintentional. For real. That's you the moment you start your day starts, if you're starting your day intentional or not. So if you said, okay, I'm gonna wake up at 6 a.m. and you don't wake up at 6 a.m., then you're not intentional. If you said you were gonna wake up at 7:30 a.m. to get your routine done and you didn't wake up at 7:30 a.m. and you snoozed, you're not being intentional. This is important that you all understand that. Because if you're intentional, if you said you were going to wake up at 6, you're up at 6, you're out of bed. But if you say you're going to wake up at a certain time and then you wake up 30 minutes later, 45 minutes later, a whole hour later, then you weren't intentional. And it's important that you understand that. Just that one simple thing could be the reason, that could be the one thing that's holding you back. That's the one thing that could be holding you back right there, is that you say you're going to do something and you don't do it. You say you're going to wake up at that time and you don't wake up at that time. I read this once that if you hit your snooze button, okay, you wake up resisting life. Listen to that. Because you didn't wake up right away when you said you were going to wake up. So if I set an alarm to wake me up at 6:30 a.m. and I hit the snooze button, guess what? I wake up resisting life, because I was supposed to be up at 6:30, but I say, you know what? I don't want to start my day. I'd rather go back to sleep for another 15 minutes, another 30 minutes. So I resisted waking up. I resisted starting my day. And guess what that leads to? A day started with no intention. And remember, how you do one thing is how you do what? Type it in the chat box and finish it if you know it. How you do one thing is how you do what, guys? How you do everything. It's how you do everything. So if you start your day unintentional, there's a pretty good chance that there's going to be other things throughout the day that you do unintentional as well. And what do we say? If we do things unintentional, what happens? It doesn't create. It's fruitless. You don't create. So think about that, guys. Just sit down and think, look back just the month of May. How many days in the month of May did you wake up intentional, where you said you were going to wake up at that time and you woke up at that time? Because that's was probably holding you back right there. Just that simple concept right there. But let's talk about intentional living really fast. So we say we're going to wake up at 6 a.m. We're up at 6. Okay. When you wake up at the time that you say you're going to wake up, you spring out of bed. Okay. Usually the next thing I do after that is prayer and gratitude. That prayer and gratitude has to be done with an intention. Okay. Because you're not just going to go and get on your knees and pray to God and just be like, thank you, God, thank you, God, thank you, God. That's not prayer. Okay. What do you want to ask of God today? What do you need to hear today? What exactly are you doing today? What exactly are you trying to create today? What do you need God to help you with today? Are you looking for a specific answer? Do you need God to help you heal from something? Um, do you need him to guide you, protect you, give you, like, you need to find out exactly what you want out of your day. Okay, so for example, there's certain times I wake up and I ask God for strength. Okay, there's certain days I wake up and I ask God to allow me to heal from a certain situation that I'm going through. There's certain days that I ask God for forgiveness. Okay. There's certain intentions always behind everything. Sometimes I have really big meetings that I have to be 100% for. I ask him to give me the energy and the strength to, push through the day and make sure that I'm ready for the whole day. I ask him for energy. I ask him, I'm always very intentional about what I ask God for in the morning, and making sure that I'm extremely, extremely grateful always. That is doing gratitude and prayer with a very specific intention, and that's very important. Okay, right? I literally do that, right? Then another thing we do in the mornings, right? And it's something that I always did, right? Having your goal card. Have a goal card with your goal written on it, and brush your teeth with your opposite hand and read your goal card on the other hand. Something so simple, but remember, the point of doing all of this is about the intention behind it. Okay, so if I wake up, okay, and I'm usually a right-handed person and I usually brush my teeth with my right hand, right? Just me switching it over to my left hand, that automatically makes it intentional, because that means now that I have to focus on brushing my teeth, okay, with my left hand, which is something I've never done before. Now, why do we tell people to brush your teeth with your opposite hand? It's so that, guess what? If you do it with your opposite hand, all right, you are activating the left hand side of your brain, okay, which is the creative side, okay? And at the other time as well, on your other hand, you have your goal card. So think about that. You're brushing your teeth, boom, 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 but at the same time, you're reading that goal card. So the moment you start your day now, your mind is not used to this. Your mind is used to you waking up and seeing social media and grabbing your phone and doing this and listening to music. But the thing is that now you're doing something that your mind has never seen before. It went from what was once somebody who woke up and got on their phone to now what's once somebody who wakes up, practices gratitude, right? Now you're going into reading a goal card and brushing your teeth with your left hand. You're doing things that make you uncomfortable. You're breaking out of that paradigm. You're breaking out of that paradigm. You're doing something that you've never done before. Okay. And this is important because now your mind starts to reprogram that old pattern. And this is what some of you guys need, is to reprogram that old pattern, because you've just been doing the same things over and over and over again. And your mind needs some reprogramming. It needs some new habits. It needs some new things to go about. And this is how I created my six figures. I'm telling you guys right now, this is how I did it. I did everything with a very specific intention. I was never just doing anything just to do it. I was doing it with a very specific intention. And then another thing that I'm going to add to that is that if you can't use your phone, and this is important, if you are looking to make six figures, you can't use your phone within the first 30 minutes to an hour of you waking up. That's intentional. Because think about it, unintentional is being what we usually do, which is wake up, grab our phones, and use it in the mornings. Intentional means you consciously see your phone. You consciously know that there's apps on your phone that you want to use. You consciously know that there's people messaging you, there's emails you got to answer, but you say, you know what? This is more important to me. I need to get my hour of personal development and self-work in. And guess what? I'm going to put my phone aside for an hour and I'm going to focus on myself. That's intention. That's what intention is right there. It's consciously choosing to do the right thing over what you are usually used to doing. What I was usually used of doing was waking up, grabbing my phone, jumping on Instagram, checking this, checking that. But now I use my phone after my morning routine. Now, the only way you can use your phone in the morning is if you're going to use it for a meditation, for audio. I saw somebody said if they use the Bible app, that's perfect. It should only be used for things that are going to help you complete your morning routine, but it shouldn't be used for anything outside of that. So if it's to answer messages and get back to people, it shouldn't be used for that. To answer emails, it shouldn't be used for that. To listen to music, it shouldn't be used to that. To jump on any social media platform, it shouldn't be used for that. It should only be used for the things that are going to help you complete your morning routine. Okay. And then after I brush my teeth, so on and so forth, the best thing you could do, what I recommend, is eat a piece of fruit and drink some nice water. Hydrate your body. Sometimes this is what I've learned. Okay. We are not tired, we are just dehydrated. Okay. So sometimes you're not just tired, you're just dehydrated. So the reason why you feel so sleepy and the reason why, you just feel tired is because guess what? You just haven't drank enough water. So sometimes going and grab a good glass of water would be great. And what I do is I always drink water and I eat some blueberries. Brain food. I love to eat blueberries in the morning. Um, and I love doing that. So I always buy, if next time you go to your grocery store, go get yourself some good organic blueberries. Make sure they're organic, and then make sure you get yourself some good alkaline or spring water. No regular water, alkaline or spring water. Okay, and boom, get into that, and just eat some blueberries. And yo, it's so crazy, family, that I even drink water with intention. Think about that. I even drink my water and I eat my blueberries with intention. But then how do you do that? What do you mean that you eat blueberries with intention? Bro, I literally hold the blueberries in my hand, right? Let's say for example these were the blueberries, right? I would hold the blueberries in my hand and I'll literally talk to myself and I'll be like, all right, every blueberry I'm about to eat is going to help me, with the brain food that I need in order for my mind to process the way that it needs to process today. And then I'll start eating the blueberries, right? Before I drink my water, right? I'll hold the bottle of water and I'll tell myself like, okay, this bottle of water I'm about to drink is gonna, hydrate my body and it's gonna feed my organs and it's gonna wake my body up to everything that I need to do today. Boom, and I'll drink the water. You know what I'm saying? So I literally set an intention in the morning behind everything that I did. Because remember how I did one thing was going to be how I did everything else. So if I wanted to be, because remember, I wasn't just thinking about that moment right there. I was also thinking about, okay, I have phone calls I got to do later. I have meetings I got to do later. I have events I got to do later. I have a ton of things I got to do later. If I'm intentional now, I'll be intentional later. If I'm unintentional now, I won't be intentional later. Right. And the good thing is that when you start to set intentions, you're more present in the moment as to why you're doing it. Because now, think about it. It's so dope because sometimes, right now, if you were to just drink water, that's just you drinking water. But if you sit down and you get an intention and you're like, okay, this water that I'm about to drink, my intention behind drinking this water is for this water to wake me up, is to feed my organs with the hydration that it needs, and for me to feel good for the rest of the day. And as you're drinking the water, you can actually feel the water go down and you just kind of, it almost feels like it's really doing what you said it was going to do. Like you really feel it, hydrating your body and feeding the organs inside. And it just feels so good. It's a whole completely different thing when you just unconsciously grab a bottle of water and drink it. It's completely different than when you actually set that intention, when you actually set that intention to eat that blueberry, eat that apple, eat that banana in the morning. Yeah, it feels like an internal cleanse, right? Super important, right? So after I've done those three things, which is wake up, prayer, and gratitude, read Go Card and read Go Card while brushing teeth with opposite hand, and then drink water and eat some blueberries. Those are the first three things I do. Now, I'm not telling you guys to do exactly what I do. Do it your own way. Do your morning routine your own way, whatever you feel comfortable with and whatever works for you. I'm just giving you guys an example of what I do. Okay. So that way you guys can take, all right, well, Nano eats blueberries. I like to do this. All right, let me do this with intention. Nano likes to drink water and drink coffee in the morning. Well, I like to make teas and I like to make smoothies in the morning, but let me make these smoothies and these teas with intention. Okay. Now, after I've done that, I go into my big three. Okay. My big three are meditation, reading, and journaling. All three of them have to be done with an intention. All three have to be done with intention. So my meditation, I never just meditate to meditate. I'm always meditating for a certain purpose. Sometimes I'm meditating to let go. Sometimes I'm meditating to forgive. Sometimes I'm meditating to just be present in the moment. I'm meditating for different kind of reasons. Okay, you need to figure out what kind of meditation you want to do. Are you looking for peace? Do you need to, just let go of certain negative feelings that you've been feeling, right? You need to know where you are in your journey. You need to know what's helping you out. So, like, as you guys know, I love boho meditation. Okay, you could go on YouTube and you could look up boho, Boho, boho meditation. And they have a ton of different meditations. They have, look, I'm looking at them right now as we speak. They have 10-minute guided meditation to clear your mind and start positive habits. They have meditation to eliminate stress, fear, and anxiety. They have meditation to start every day perfectly. They have meditations to for a peaceful, calm mind, to raise your energetic vibration, for peace, focus, and positivity, for finding happiness, for deep relaxation and positivity. They have meditation for manifestation and success. They have some for strength and grounding in stressful times, right? And you can pick and choose. You can pick and choose which one you need at that certain time and moment. Maybe some days you're going to need to do something for grounding during stressful times. Maybe certain times you just want to find peace. Maybe certain days you just want to hear the sounds of nature, right? But there's an intention behind it. There's an intention behind it. Then I read with intention. Okay. Now, how do you read with intention? Well, sometimes the way I read with intention is, okay, I'll look at where I'm at and I'll be like, okay, right now, let's say, for example, it's 9:50. All right. Let's say it was 9:50 in the morning. All right. I say, all right, for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to read with no distractions. It's just going to be me, the book, and me. That's it. Nobody else. That's all I'm going to do right now. I'm just going to read with a very specific intention. Okay. So for 30 minutes, I set a timer. I tell Siri, set a timer for 30 minutes. Okay. Set a timer for 30 minutes. I put it down and guess what I do? I start to read because I don't want to read and then get distracted. I don't want to read and get a phone call and pick it up in the middle of the phone call, right? While I'm reading, there's no text message, there's no phone call, there's no email, there's no Instagram notification. There is nobody that can distract me from my 30 minutes of reading. Those 30 minutes of reading are intentional. Okay. If you read and get distracted, you're not reading with intention. If you read and get a phone call and you pick up the phone call, you weren't reading with intention. If you read and saw your friend texted you a message and you go and answer the message, you are not reading with intention. So it's not going to create. It's not going to create. I hope this call is giving you guys some breakthroughs as to how you guys been doing things. Okay. And then guess what I do after I'm done reading for 30 minutes? My alarm goes off, and now it's time to journal. Beautiful. Journaling, journaling, journaling. And then you journal with an intention. What do you want to do on this journal session? Right? Certain journal sessions, I just want to be grateful. I just want to write down 10 things I'm grateful for and why. Certain journal sessions, I just want to let go of the thoughts that I have in my mind. I'm like, yo, I just want to let go of these thoughts, right? I have these thoughts in my mind right now. I need to just let go of them. Certain days, I just want to write a letter to myself. Certain days, I just want to create my future. Certain days, I just want to talk to God through my journal. If I read to you guys some of my journal entries, a lot of my journal entries is just me talking to God. Just thank you, God, for this. Thank you for guiding me. I know that things are tough, hard, whatever, but we're here. We're pushing through each and every single day. And it's just me having a conversation with God. Whatever you feel at the moment, yeah, you don't need to know. Like, guys, I didn't know how to do any of these things. I didn't know how to journal. I just started to journal. I just started to do it. Every day I would just write something. I feel like this, I feel like that. And as I started to do, I started to get more comfortable with the idea of journaling. Okay. And then you also, what you want to do is you also want to work out with an intention. All right. Yo, I'm gonna work out today for 30 minutes, for example. Every time I get to my 10th rep, I'm always gonna do an extra one. So I'm not just gonna do 10, I'm always gonna do 11 today. And whenever I feel tired, I'm gonna push through. And you tell yourself these things before you do them. So now I'm doing 10 push-ups and I'm like, okay, I told myself I was always going to do one more. So, all right, 9, 10, 11, boom. Got it. I said I was going to do 10 pull-ups. All right. When I get to 10, I know I got to do one more no matter what it takes because I know I said I was going to do one more. 11. That's doing a workout with intention. Type a 1 in the chat box if this is making sense. Okay. That's doing things with an intention behind it. Okay. That is so important. This is what I did. And another thing, guys, when I was working out, I know a lot of you guys are like, Nano, I don't want to listen to Bob Proctor speak when I work out. And I get it. But when I worked out, I only listened to audios and Bob Proctor or so on and so forth. So when I work out, only personal development because that's intentional. Because what is the comfortable thing for me to do? Throw on some Drake, some Little Baby, some Bad Bunny. That's the comfortable thing for me to do. For me, I listen to audios now because now it's more intentional. Okay. So now think about that. Think about that morning routine right there. You wake up, practice gratitude and prayer. You brush your teeth with your left hand while reading your goal card. You eat some fruit and drink some good water. You meditate. You read. You journal. You work out and listen to an audio. How could you have a bad day now? And mind you, the whole time you haven't used your phone for any messages or distractions. All you've been doing is being super intentional. How could you have a bad day after such an intentional morning routine like that? That you focused, like, yo, when I'm telling you guys, you focused, like it was just you and God in that morning routine. Like, yo, it was just you. Like from the moment you woke up, I'm gonna wake up at 6:30. You were up at 6:30. You were practicing prayer and gratitude right after that. You were brushing your teeth and reading your goal card. And then you went and drank some water. You went to wherever you went to, whether you do it in your home, whether you do it in the park, whether you do it in the beach. You went and got that work done. You went and got your meditation done, your reading done, your journaling done. You worked out while listening to an audio. You did it in 2 hours, whatever it took. Bro, think about how good you're gonna feel. Dude, it's impossible for you to have a bad day after you do something like that. Any one of you guys that are going through something right now, and you feel like you're stuck and you feel like you haven't been able to get out of a certain situation, you do that morning routine right there that I just described to you every day for the next 90 days, and your whole life will revolutionize and change. But the problem is you going and doing it now. Are you consciously going to do that every single day? That'll help your business. That'll help your trading. That'll help you with your family. That'll help you with your kids. That'll help you in all areas of your life, because that is your foundation. If your foundation is weak, everything else is weak. My mentor said this. He says, you can only build as high as your foundation goes deep. Listen to that again. You can only go as high as your foundation goes deep. So if your foundation is weak and it's not solid, the chances of you going high not going to be very high. The reason why you guys haven't been able to go high is because your foundation sucks. And it's the truth. Foundation sucks. You don't have a strong foundation. So everything you build falls. Everything you build falls. You haven't been able to get above that certain level because your foundation is weak. You haven't even done it for a long period of time. You haven't even done it you haven't even proved that you could do it over a 30-day span, and you're looking for a success. It'll never come, guys. Never, ever, ever, ever come. No matter how many times you do it, it'll never happen. You haven't even proved to do it over a period of time. And 30 days is the minimum. You got to do it. Think about it. You got to do it the whole summer. Why do they say 90 days to 6 months of sacrifice could change your whole life? If you guys sacrifice the whole summer to just that morning routine, everything else will change. Now, you also have to trade with intention, right? That's the second part of it, trading with intention, making sure that you know what the percentage is of how much money you want to make today. Are you making 5% today? Knowing what that intention is. Yo, I'm going to make 5% today. Once I make my 5%, I'm done for the day. I don't trade till tomorrow. If I lose this trade, I'm good for today. Practice your emotional intelligence. Learn how to take losses. Learn how to take your wins. You got to do that. Study with intention. I'm going to study for an hour today. I'm going to study the strategy for an hour. I'm going to study crypto for an hour. I'm going to take notes, and I'm going to make sure that I sit down and really, really do it for an hour. No distractions, no phones, no this. Just me, myself, and the study session. Doing your prospecting with intention. I'm going to reach out to 10 people today, and reaching out to the 10 people. I'm going to do 2 opportunity calls today. Doing those opportunity calls with intention. Bro, I used to do, my intention behind doing opportunity calls is that if there were 10 people on the call, I would see all 10 people sign up. So before the opportunity call started, I would literally set the intention that, okay, before I start this call, there is someone on this call that is going to sign up, that's going to help me blow up my business. Thank you, God, ahead of time for allowing me to do a presentation for somebody that's going to come in here and really help me expand my business. And I would set that intention. That was my intention behind every call I did, that I was going to attract a massive leader on my next call. And guess what? There were calls that I did where nobody signed up, but then there were calls that I did that I would sign up that leader that would go and blow up my business. Why? Because I was intentionally looking for, remember this, what you're looking for is also looking for you. You heard that? What you're looking for is also looking for you. So if you're looking for that leader to blow up your business, you have to be intentionally looking for the leader. Yeah, I want a leader, but you're just sitting at home, chilling, relaxing, and hoping for that leader to come is not going to come. Like Tiffany said, what you want wants you. But you have to be intentionally looking for that leader. You have to be intentionally doing those things. So you have to identify how you can start doing more of the things that are going to be intentional. I always say this, and I always tell Matt this, bro. The biggest thing he ever taught me was teaching me the power of intention. Because after he taught me that, my income, that's when I became a six-figure earner. I became a six-figure earner 4 months after he taught me the power of intention. I went from broke to six figures just because he taught me that one concept. And you know what? Everything that I did from that point, especially when I first learned it, I feel like I've gotten a little lazy with it lately, but when I first learned it, I was so in love with the idea of doing everything with intention that, I did everything with intention, bro. My night routine was so intentional. So intentional, bro. 10 pages every night, visualization, goals, and falling asleep to an audio every night, rain or shine. Intentional showering. Seriously. I would intentionally shower. Sometimes my showers were just to, I would intentionally shower just to think. I would shower I would be like, okay, the water that is gonna fall and it's gonna release all energies from my bodies that I don't need in it right now. And it's gonna clean me of all energies, of all thoughts, and of all things that don't serve me right now. That's an intentional shower. That's an intentional shower. I used to intentionally sleep. I used to intentionally listen to certain audios before I went to bed. You want to know how intentional Matt Gribby is? Let me tell you guys a little secret. Bro, my brother Matt Gribby, you walk in his house and he has 432 hertz playing at all time in his speakers. 432 hertz playing in his speakers, in his house speakers. He has it playing at all times of the day. He has the frequency 432 hertz playing at all times. When he told me that, I was like, yo, that is lit. I was like, yo, what's that sound you have going on? He has it at 432 hertz at all times. So there's literally just a YouTube video, I think, that he has, or I forgot what it is that he has. He has a sound 432 hertz going on all times. That's called intention. Everything he does is intention. Because that's the frequency of the universe. That's the frequency of the universe. That's the frequency where everything happens. So he has that playing at all times. Family, there's just the things like yeah, exactly. You live in that meditative frequency at all times. You got to know this stuff, family. Got to be very intentional with what you eat. Why I tell you guys every time, my first meal of the day, I do my best to make it a organic vegan meal. Organic vegan meal. Why? Because I'm intentional, because I know that the first meal of my day is going to fuel me for the rest of the day. So I got to make sure that that first meal is a good meal so that it can keep me going for the rest of the day. It can keep my vibration. It can give me the energy. And when I eat, right, every time I eat with intention because I pray before every meal. Bro, I pray before I eat cereal. I say thank you for the cereal I'm going to eat. I say thank you for the peanut butter and jelly sandwich that I'm going to eat. Am I vegan? No, I'm not. But I do my best to keep majority of my diet vegan, plant-based. But I still eat my meats here and there and my chicken and my seafood. I eat everything. But I do my best to eat the best of the best, So I know that, a lot of this stuff could be sometimes contradicting because I'm saying all of this stuff and then I go and eat meat and stuff like that. But I do my best to eat just the best meats, organic meats, because KT said it. It's okay to, eat meat, but make sure that it's the best meat, homegrown, not homegrown. He said, there were specific things that he said that I always look for, that, they weren't fed, all these chemicals and all these stuff, you know what I'm saying? Organic, USDA organic meals that, that weren't, genetically modified and pasture raised and grass fed and so on and so forth. Like, those things, I guess they're a little bit better. I would say they're a little bit healthier. I would say. All right, it's still not. And I know, for some, this is a contra. This could be something that you guys go against because you're still eating animals or whatever it is. But if you're going to do it, just do it, and try your best to only eat the best. Okay. Eventually, the goal is for me to get out of it, right? To not eat any of that stuff, right? All right. But it's something that I'm working on. Okay. So it's not like I'm going from one day to another and then no longer do I eat it. No, I still do, but I'm consciously making sure that I drink the right things and, drink the right waters and drink the good juices. Okay. And I'm very, very intentional with all the juices I drink, always organic juices. I love kombucha. All the foods that I eat, I do my best to always eat the best foods. Okay. I love vegan food, love vegan food. Instead of me eating a regular burger, I'd rather eat, a plant-based burger. You know what I'm saying? And, or, and instead of me eating, you know, uh, some wings and some fries, I'd rather eat an acai bowl. It's just doing my best to make sure that I eat the best foods. Okay. And that's why I'm always in shape. I never really grow a gut. I never really gain any like crazy weight because I'm always black bean burgers are also good. So I always do my best to stay, conscious of all the things that I'm eating on a day-to-day basis, the waters that I'm drinking on a day-to-day basis. I don't really drink too much alcohol. Um, I drink it in occasion and, in certain occasions. But I do love IPA beers. That's one thing I do love. I love them so much. I think that they're so unique. Um, but besides that, I rarely drink any alcohol. Like I said, I'm more of a social drinker. If you invite me out and you want to grab a drink or two, or like I'll have a drink or two. You feel me? Um, but besides, like, I didn't like I had one drink on my birthday. Like I didn't get lit on my birthday and like drunk. Like, no, I just had a drink. It was not something that I'm always drinking alcohol. That's not how I am, right? But you will have fun with me if you get lit with me, though. I'll tell you that much. I don't know if you guys saw the post that Matt said the other day. He said, "Yo, we have mornings with Nano, and then we have noches con Nano." A lot of you guys know mornings with Nano, but only a few have experienced noches con Nano. Noches con Nano is just for those wondering. It's just Nano having fun. I love to have fun, and some people just don't expect it when when I get lit for me to just have so much fun. I become like the social butterfly, and I love everybody. And I'm a fool. I'm a fool. Like I love making everybody happy. I'm like the one that I'm like the life of the party. I help everybody step out of their comfort zone. Like, I'm the one where, like, if we're in a party and everybody's just standing on the wall, like, I'm the one to start up the party type stuff. Like, I'm the one, like, all right, bet, like, you guys are not gonna dance. We're gonna start dancing, and I'll be the one to do everything and start the drinks and, yo, shots on me, whatever. Like, I'm like that. That's me. But I gotta be in the mood to do that. I gotta be in the right mood to do that. Because I believe that life, as serious as I am about my business, about my growth, I also believe that it's important that, we have fun. All right. And, I love playing basketball. I love baseball. Like, you guys wouldn't believe, but one of the things that fills my heart up is going on my Instagram and going on MLB.com and just watching all the highlights. Like that makes my heart so happy. Like people don't even understand how happy that makes me. Like sometimes I just sit there and Katie's like, yo, why are you watching that for so long? And I'm just watching one after another. And I watch the same video 20 times. And I just love, because I just love baseball. I just love baseball so much. So things like that, I love to do that. I love watching baseball. I love watching documentaries, right? Saturdays for me, for example, Saturdays are very intentional for me. Saturdays are the days that, most Saturdays I don't like to do anything. Like I don't want to do a phone call. I don't want to do a training. I don't want you to hit me up. Like Saturdays, I just want to be away from everything. Like I don't want to call nobody. I just want my Saturday to be for me, right? And sometimes I still work. Like this, like Saturdays I still work, but I work till a certain time. So like for example, on Saturday, like my last call, I like to do sometimes my last call like around 2 p.m., like 1 2 p.m., so that way I can enjoy the rest of my day. And if I just want to be lazy the whole day and watch Netflix and watch YouTube documentaries the rest of the day, or just sleep and stay in bed the whole entire day, like that's what my Saturdays are for, right? I want to go do this, I want to go do that. I like to have a Saturday for me where, like, I just for me. Like, go ahead, Nano, be as lazy as you want, do whatever you want. If you want to scroll the whole day, like this is whatever you want to do Saturday, like that's what we do, right? And I'm like that, but it's because I'm intentional about it. Okay. But there's Saturdays that I don't do that. Okay. There's Saturdays I don't do that. All right, because it's important that you guys understand my Saturday is really my only day for me to do that, because my weeks start on Sunday. I start my week Sunday. So Sunday is a week of intentional evaluation, intentional planning, intentional scheduling, okay, intentional calls with leaders in the organization, with the team, making sure that everybody's up to date as to what the intention is for this week, what the plan is, what calls we have, what are we planning on doing that. So Sundays are very planned for me. And then Monday through Friday are work. And then Saturday is like that day where it's just day off. And I wouldn't say day off, I would say partial day off, because I still put some work in, right? And I still recommend you guys to do that morning routine on your Saturdays. Even if it's for an hour, still do that morning routine in your because just because you're taking the day off doesn't mean that you take the day off on you, right? That work is for you. Remember, you need to work on you daily. So Saturdays, even though you're not going to make any phone calls, you're not going to do any trainings, you're not going to jump on any calls, you're not going to do any of that, you should still wake up and still do reading. You should still journal. You remember that routine should be regular for you. That should be like you waking up and brushing your teeth. Your morning routine has to get to that point where you don't even think about it. It has to be unconscious, competent, where it's just wake up, you already know you got to read, you got to journal. Like it has to be every day. You have to be doing it unconscious. It, like, for example, if you wake up on Saturday and you dedicate an hour to your morning routine, if you want to be lazy for the rest of the day and do nothing, that's fine. But you did your morning routine. You did your work. You read your book. You listened to your audio. You wrote your goal down. All right. You did a little workout, or if that was your day off on working out, like that was your day. But you still got that intentional work in you. Okay. And then Sunday, the same thing. I really believe your morning routine should be done 7 days out of the week if you really, really want to get to another level. And if you want to get there faster. Because guess what, guys? You doing that every day, that increases your capacity to not get overwhelmed with things in the future. Because guess what? A lot of you guys get overwhelmed is because you're not used to a lot of the things that life is throwing at you right now. But if you were always staying on point with yourself, nothing, you will never be overwhelmed with anything. And I want to read this to you guys. So this is what I read today in The Power of Now, and I thought that it was powerful. He said this. He said, "Your life's journey is no longer an adventure, just an actually I gotta read the whole paragraph so you guys can understand it. So listen to this, right? He said, if you set yourself a goal and work towards it, you are using clock time. You are aware of where you want to go, but you honor and give your fullest attention to the step that you are taking at this moment." That's what right there. He's talking about intention. Okay, listen to what he said. He said, if you set yourself a goal and work towards it, you are using clock time. You are aware of where you want to go, right? For some of you guys, you are aware that you want to go make six figures, but you must honor and give your fullest attention to the step that you are taking at this moment, which is doing everything with an intention. Okay, if you're going to read, you're giving your fullest attention to this book. If you're going to journal, you're giving your fullest attention to this journal. Okay. If you're going to listen to that audio, you're giving your fullest attention to that audio. All right. Now, listen, he said, if you then become excessively focused on the goal, perhaps because you are seeking happiness, fulfillment, or more complete sense of self in it, the now is no longer honored. So what did he mean by that? If you become too obsessed in the six figures because you need it, because you're searching for happiness and fulfillment, and how people say, yo, I'll be happy when I hit six figures, or, I'll be good when I make it. No. You good now. You need to be happy now, right? And that's what he's saying. He says, if you then become excessively focused on the goal, perhaps because you are seeking happiness, fulfillment, or a more complete sense of self in it, the now is no longer honored. It becomes reduced to a mere stepping stone to the future with no intrinsic value. Clock time then turns into psychological time. Your life's journey no longer an adventure, just an obsessive need to arrive, to attain, to make it. You no longer see or smell the flowers by wayside either, nor are you aware of the beauty and the miracle of life that unfolds all around you when you are present in the now. So important. So what he's saying is, yes, set that goal, work towards that goal, but don't forget in the action you got to take now that's going to help you get to that goal. You need to give your fullest attention to the action that you're taking now, so that you can make the future a reality. And that was deep. When I read that, I was like, wow, I needed to read that. What page is that? That was on page 58. At the bottom of page 57, and it finishes at the top of 58. 57, 58. So, guys, very important. This is good stuff right here. Like I said, guys, everything intentional. If you want to have the summer to remember, if you want to have a summer that changes your life, you have to do everything with intention. Regardless of where you are right now, you could be in a very good place in your business. Just be more intentional about it. Or you can be right now in a place where you feel stuck, you feel down, things are not going the way that you want them to. Guess what? If you start working right now and you start doing things with intention from now, everything will start to work in your favor. But remember, you got to do a small amount of things over a long period of time. So it has to be done every day over the next 90 days to 6 months. For real. Some of you guys need to start working on your 2023s from now. 2022 is a year. For some of you guys, 2022 is going to be a year of preparation for you. These next 6 months are going to be years of preparation for 2023 for you. For some of you guys, these next 6 months are going to be are going to be months of massive momentum and growth because you took the first 6 months serious. And that's okay. For some of you guys, you're preparing that's the crazy thing about stuff, right? If you slacked off these last 6 months, you're probably going to have to spend your next 6 months catching up for all the work that you slacked up on for the rest of the year so you can start preparing for 2023. That's the risk that you took by slacking off the first 6 months. That was the risk you took. But if you've been working and you've been staying consistent, the next 6 months could be very, very abundant for you. Okay? So it's very important. Okay? Get to work now. ASAP. It's June 3rd. Make every one of these days count. You can accomplish a lot in 6 months. And it's not just what's going to happen in 6 months. It's about what's going to happen after you do the 6 months that's going to come. That's what's going to be big. All right, family. So I love you guys so much. I appreciate you guys so much. That wraps up today's call. If you guys got value from that, put some 333s in the chat box. If you guys got value from today's call. Something told me I needed to tell you guys that. Let me see. Something. Hello?
Hello, you have Isaiah here.
Yeah, let him in. We got to be, something told me this morning while I was doing my morning routine. And actually after I read that paragraph today, I said, man, I gotta remind this family of intention. I got to remind them. And it's something that I'm always going to remind you guys of. I feel like I've done a training similar to this like a month ago or 2 ago. But God told me, hey, talk to the family about intention. They need to hear that today. And I feel like a lot of us, including myself, needed to hear that today. So thank you guys so much for hopping on. It was a very, very good call. That wraps up today's call. And then let's get a quick prayer in. And let's wrap up the call, family. So quick prayer, bow your heads, let's pray. Father God, thank you so much for blessing us with another beautiful day filled with your grace and with your abundance. We are so thankful to wake up today and live an intentional day. We know that, one of the keys for us to create the life that we want and for us to serve the purpose that you have for us here on earth, God, is that we must most importantly do every single thing with intention. Every prayer, every action we take, every single thing that we do must be done with intention. And now moving forward, God, we ask that you give us the strength and the determination and the awareness that we need to make sure that every action that we take moving forward is done with that intention that serves your purpose here on earth, God, because we know that in order for us to create that purpose for ourselves, in order for us to create those goals and those aspirations that we want, every single action that we take from the moment we wake up to the moment we fall asleep must be done with the intention to serve the purpose that we have here on earth, which is to serve you, my God. So we love you so much and we appreciate you so much. Thank you for being there for us each and every single day. We are so thankful for your guidance. We are so thankful for your grace and for you just being the leader that we've always needed in our life, God. So we love you. We appreciate you. We pray for an incredible weekend filled with grace and love. And let's go out there and have a great Friday, God. We love you and we appreciate you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. 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 All right. Thank you, my brother. So with that being said, guys, that wraps up today's call. Thank you guys so much for hopping on. I appreciate you guys. Happy Friday. Enjoy the rest of your weekends. Remember, Friday is great. Do your morning routine this weekend as well. So do it tomorrow. If you're gonna take the day off Saturday, that's fine. But do it tomorrow. Do your morning routine tomorrow. Trust me. Just do it in the morning. Do it, and you can sleep in on Saturday. Like I sleep in on Saturdays, but I still do my morning routine, right? So yeah, I wake up 9-10 a.m., but I still do that routine, right? And then after that, right, enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, I know for some of you guys, Saturday is Sabbath. Continue what you do with that. I respect that as well. And then Sunday, do an evaluation. Plan out your week. You should already have your week planned on Sunday before you actually start it, fam. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And I'll see you guys on Monday. Let's run it and have a blessed weekend, fam. Thank you for the birthdays. Oh, happy birthday, Tiara. Let's go, Tiara. Happy birthday, sis. Gemini sister. Let's go. God bless you, fam. Enjoy your day.